Hello and welcome back to
Bunso Bites.
I'm your host Ami43.
And I'm your co-host Chigi.
What up, Chigi?
Hi, Ami.
Not as busy this week. Busy, but like not. Says the girl who had a full emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
Literally last week. But we're fine. We're thriving. We're living.
I'm not.
You are falling apart.
If you can't see, my left hand right here it has an ice pack on it.
Literally actually falling apart.
I think my condition got worse from the last time we recorded.
The last time we recorded, you were like on the mend, and then you like tanked again.
Oh yeah. So.
And explain to people why you tanked again. And I want to be very, very clear. I told him only do things within your capacity because
and it was.
we are doing, we have a lot of things going on, and I need you to be present for a lot of things, and I need you to be like able to do things for a lot of things. And I think, no, clearly he went beyond his capacity, which is why we have tanked yet again.
Okay.
So explain to our friends what happened, because everyone's gonna blame me.
We ended up buying a couch for our apartment.
Adult things.
And
big kid things.
it arrived at the apartment and it was in a box.
Yes.
So we had to assemble the couch.
I knew that it was in a box. Like it's like IKEA. There's just parts and slots, and you put the little bolts in a little place.
Okay. So I went ahead and started this project maybe a week ago. And
we're kind of doing it parts, yeah.
It took me like maybe three partial days to put it together.
I want to be very clear. If it was two people sitting down to sit down and do this, it would probably take like an afternoon project. It wouldn't take that long. But because we were kind of doing this in and out of work schedules, I was not with him the whole time, so I wasn't there to help him the whole time. There was all of that.
Yeah. And mind you, I'm not on like 100%. So I still have a bum knee, which I was hobbling on.
Yeah.
And I have a somewhat hurt hand. So I don't have like the full range of motion in my left hand.
Right.
And, I don't have the strength to like hold and lift things up with my left hand.
Right.
So either way, it took me 3 partial days to put together this couch.
Mm-hmm.
There were days where I thought I was doing well. And the next day I came in and I was like, I need to dismantle this and start over because I messed up.
Yeah, it was a situation of he put a part on upside down. And like if you're not looking at it, it wouldn't be very, very obvious. But like obviously when you're putting it together, certain parts need to face certain directions. So that bolts line up and panels line up and things like that. I found it hilarious because I was like, there's literally a sticker that says front on it. But in your hyperfixation and focus, you did not see that sticker, nor were you paying attention to that part.
I saw the sticker. In the diagram, it doesn't show you which side's the front. It just shows you the holes.
Yeah.
And it's a black diagram where the holes are black.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, the only way I can see it is if like you show me which way the screw is going into and or if you have an arrow. And this diagram, it's really literally just a picture.
Yeah.
And it tells you.
It's very IKEA.
It tells you what letter the part is.
Yeah.
And it tells you how many you need. And then it just says, take this, put into this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And, they're all pictures. And it's like, okay, you didn't tell me that I needed to flip this thing before I had to put it onto the sides of the couch.
Right.
So when I went to go put in like the front panel, I was like, where are the holes for this to go in? Oh, it's on the back side because I installed it incorrectly. Mm-hmm. And so I had to dismantle it and then put it on the correct way.
At that point, I was there to help you. I helped you dismantle it. We put it back together. So, yeah, it's just a very classic, like, oh, you put the part in upside down, right side out, whatever it was. Wrong side out, I mean. And it's hard because, like, in the moment, it seems right, but then it's not until after the fact. And then that's when it's the most frustrating because you're like, I already did the work. Now I got to do double the work. Yeah, a very classic like IKEA problem / I mean, even with like certain Lego models, it can be like that. Like if you're just not paying attention, it's really easy to get lost. And then you're already 3 steps down to realize that you messed up 3 steps ago. So you have to dismantle everything and then put it back together. So,
all right. So this couch, it's a 3-person love seat.
It's a sectional that can sit 3 across.
Yeah, so it's a 3-person sectional, and it has 2 ottomans.
2 ottomans, yes.
So,
So U-shape.
the first day, I got the 2 ottomans together.
The bases.
Yeah, the bases. No problem. I think you had fun hammering in the...
I just imagined people I hate's faces, and I smashed it as hard as I could with all of my anger and might.
And she went ahead...
I actually hate people. I want to caveat that. I just...
No, you do.
Feel very angry towards certain people. Hate's a strong word, but yeah.
But yes, you do hate some people. I ain't gonna lie. But there's some people at work, they...
Under the bus.
I mean, I hate some people at work too. Not gonna lie.
We all have those, yeah.
So yeah, day 1, I got the ottomans together, the bases. You took your frustration out hammering the wood pieces into the frame.
Wood slats, yeah.
And that was cool. The second day, I had to do the 3 seat sectional, and that's where I messed up on the frame, installing it backwards. And so after I put in the frame backwards, came back on the 3rd day, dismantled that, and then installed it correctly. And then I had to finish off the rest of it. Yeah. And you weren't there for any of it.
No, I helped you install it incorrectly because I was not looking at the directions. And then we came back after we ate or after something. You realized that it was installed upside down. So then I helped you dismantle and reinstall that one piece the correct direction. Okay. And then you've done the rest.
Okay. And then after that, I had to do the front panel.
Yes.
Where I noticed that all the holes were not there because it was installed incorrectly. This was the 3rd day.
Okay.
This is where you were not here.
Yes, I wasn't.
And then I had to put in this little thing in between the 2 parts of the frame. So the frame that's on the bottom, and then the frame that you lie back on.
Holds the back,
yeah. So there's a...
Oh, they connect?
Yeah, there's a piece that connects the 2 of them so that it stays together.
Sure.
And after I installed that, it took me so long to get the front panel in.
Oh, okay.
Only because it was saying that after you put in all the screws in, there's a certain way that you had to screw it in.
Yes.
So all the ones on the front had to be screwed in first, and then the 2 screws on the side were to be screwed in last. It took me over an hour just to get the holes to align correctly, because I don't know, it just seemed like it wasn't long enough.
Oh, I see.
And so when I tried to put in the last 2 screws on the side, it just could never touch the hole.
Reaching,
yeah. So I had to unscrew everything, make sure that it was literally on the edge of it falling off the screw, and then it finally just managed to give way to actually put in the last 2 screws.
Okay.
And that made me so frustrated.
I'm sure.
Because I was just like, why does this not work?
I also want to caveat this. The instructions do say that 2 people should do this. And I have told Chigi that I can do it with him. But all these times that he's working on it by himself, it has been times that he is off work and I am working. So that's why I wasn't with him. But I want to just make it clear. I did not tell him to install the couch by himself, which I knew per the instructions on the box. It says it's a 2-person job. Could one person do it? Absolutely. Could one person who's crippled do it? Clearly, yes, but struggling.
I did it.
But it's definitely a 2-person job, which I told him. He just refused to wait for me to get off work. Just wanted to clarify. Before I get any heat or hate from friends and family, I did not tell this man to do this by himself. He opted to do this by himself.
Surprise!
That being said, I am very happy. Our couch is 90% installed. We just need to put the cushions on.
Yep, the cushions just need to inflate, and then we just need to put the cushions on, and it's done.
It's a couch, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I have not tried to lay on it yet.
How could you without the cushions?
Well, I could at least sit on the wooden slabs if I wanted to.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't try to do that because I don't know if I'd be able to get back up.
I see. Yeah, the couch is a little low. I was telling you before, I was like, I think we should get higher legs, but we can get that from Amazon if we wanted to.
But some of the pillows, they're really firm.
Yeah, so it's a firm, not foam, but a firm insert,
Mm-hmm.
and then the top is the
Cushion
part.
Mm-hmm.
So it's intentionally like that so that there's structure, but it's still foam, so it like has some give before you hit the slats. It's the same structure as the cloud couch, but obviously not the expense of a cloud couch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my update. I built the whole couch in a week?
Yeah, give or take. On and off for a couple days. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess to reiterate, the whole reason why I think I am now regressing in my condition is because I spent 4 hours on trying to build the last part of the couch.
Yeah.
And it was a long day too, so we still had to go to church and do some things, and I didn't get back home until 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so I guess I overworked myself that day, and now I'm paying the price for it.
A little bit. A lot of bit.
So that's my update. What about you?
Not nearly as exciting. Just highly recommend to stream the new Illit song.
I say Illit.
Illit, Illit. They're a girl group out of Hybe, and their song is Not Cute Anymore. I remember I had seen it on when it came out, I'd seen a reel, or I'd seen something about either, or even a sneak peek. I don't remember. I saw something on Instagram about it, and I was like, ooh, I should pay attention to that because the song is coming out. And then I ran errands with Aspercream, or I did something, and Aspercream was in the car. So whenever my younger cousin's in the car, I normally just give her the phone, and she handles playlists while I drive.
Mm-hmm.
Because 9 times out of 10, she chooses songs that I'm okay with too. And she played the song, and I was like, wait, I do recognize that song. And she's like, oh, it's a new Illit song. So stream that song. It's very, very good. It's very catchy. It's unfortunately really short though. I wish there was another bridge or another stanza, but it's a really cute song. It's called Not Cute Anymore, ironically enough. But it's a very nice song, very catchy. We've been singing and dancing to it.
You have.
It's been so good. But yeah, I really like that song. It's been on repeat.
I personally don't like it that much.
What?
Yeah.
You said you liked it.
No, I don't, because it's not something that they usually do.
It's not a typical of their sound.
Yeah.
Correct?
So this is their first time branching out of their niche.
Right. Yeah.
And so, I mean, of course I would not like it because I'm used to their upbeat type songs.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jealous.
yeah, and
I love Jealous.
I like those types of songs only because I think it's more what is it called, bubblegum pop. Yeah.
Did you like that SM group song that I showed you, Focus, by I don't know their name, the one that did the collab with Pokemon ZA? It's
it's meh.
Yeah I like them as a group. That's kind of I wish I remember their name. They're a newer group out of SM. They sing Focus, and then they have another song with a Pokemon ZA collab. And I think it's kind of like SM's response to Twice, which is really kind of fun and exciting because they're doing bubblegum pop, but they're also doing a little bit of girl crush concept like Blackpink. So it's a kind of fun blend of both. And then they're a bigger group, and it's always fun when there's big groups because there's lots of big personalities and everyone has their own way of shining as stars. So I've really liked at least Focus. So
okay.
Anyways, those were just random recommendations of what has been on the playlist. Also, Cordis has been a big one. He does not like Cordis. I understand why, but what Cordis reminds me of is old school like when I would listen to music that my parents were that's not music, that's just noise.
That's all it is.
And that's the thing, and that's what Cordis reminds me of, and so it gives me a very nostalgic okay, is it my favorite song in the world? No. Is it catchy? In certain lights, yes. But it gives me that sense of nostalgia of they're doing their own thing to redefine what music is to them. And I think that's really, really cool, especially in a hyper orchestrated and formulated environment such as K-pop, where everything is kind of done to perfection level, and then they follow these formulas and they look at numbers, and it's all very hyper specific to algorithms and things like that. But it's like, here's a group of young guys who really love performing. Like, you can see on their faces that they love performing. And it's kind of just this refreshing, like, oh, they're just having fun. Like, and music is music to them. And that's really, really exciting. I can understand and see how it's not for everyone like you. And that's okay. But I think I genuinely like it, just genuinely for the concept. Although their fangirl name, or
fandom
name, sorry.
There you
go. Their fandom name came out, and my cousin was so upset. So Cordis stands for color outside of the lines, or coloring outside of the lines, something along those lines.
Okay.
And Asper Cream really, really, really wanted the fandom name to be crayon, which makes sense. I understand. I was like, yeah, duh. Obviously, it is not. It's like a word that's not a word, and then it has, similar to Cordis, it like has like a sub meaning under it. And my cousin's like, not everything needs to have like a subtle meaning. It could have just been crayon and it would have been perfect. Or like Boys Next Door, they were like, she really wanted the fandom name to be Neighbor, which would have been so good, but then they chose something like a random, like, again, lots of symbolism, whatever, but then it's like, okay. I love that I remember the ones that are not actually their fan names, and I don't remember the fandom names that they actually chose. So, but yeah, that's my K-pop update, I guess. I've been listening to a little bit of Cordis. I think it's kind of fun and quirky. Definitely been listening to Eyelet's new music, and I found that SM group Focus is on my playlist. I did go down like a deep dive with Boy Next Door, like maybe a couple weeks ago, but again, I'm more like their performances than like actually listening to their music, so I just like watching their videos. But yeah, that's my random update.
Nice.
Not nearly as like heavy and serious as your couch update. I'm just like, yay, K-pop.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the topic. This week I wanted to talk about movie theaters. And how we used to go back in the day, prior to the panini.
Yep.
And then how the panini changed it and how it is nowadays.
Now, yeah.
So I know you've actually been to a theater multiple times recently.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
So I know you watched Wicked.
Yeah.
Tell us, how was your experience at the movie theaters?
So, okay. There's two, what's the words? Two categories here. We're going to do Wicked, and then we're going to do not Wicked. And by that, I mean very hyper specifically. I wouldn't say a super fan, but I am and have been a fan of Wicked for a while. I grew up doing, musicals theater. It's been in the zeitgeist. I mean, the Broadway show came out in 2003, early 2000s, something along those lines. I'm a big fan of Frozen. Idina Menzel is the OG Elphaba, like all of it. I am aware of Wicked. I'm a fan of Oz. All of that has been there. So when the movie came out, I actually had the wonderful opportunity to watch it with another fellow. She's not a Wicked fan, but she is now. I don't think she was as much of a Wicked fan as I was, but she is a musical theater person and a music person. So it was really fun and a really wonderful experience for me to experience watching the first Wicked movie with her. And we just kind of like gleeked out. Like we were like, oh, music this, music theory that, symbolism this, art this, whatever. The whole 9 yards. We literally saw the movie, and I don't know why, like we saw it in the middle of the day. Like, and it had to have been a weekday. Because I distinctly remember we saw it, then we went to Cheesecake Factory, which is down the street, and we sat there for 2 hours talking about the movie while eating Cheesecake Factory stuff. And then Wicked for Good came out this past end of last month, beginning of this month, and I got early screening tickets, so I saw it a week before it came out here in the States, and then I saw it again. So for the early screening tickets, I saw it with that same friend, that same musical theater friend, and then a week later, a lot of our like mutual friends was like, oh, let's go see Wicked, which was a horrible decision because we literally saw it at like 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night. It is a 3-hour movie, so we didn't get done till midnight, but of course, because it's Wicked, I'm down. On a Sunday night, we all literally I had to go to work at like 6 o'clock in the morning the next day, which was not fun. And so I saw Wicked for Good in movie theaters twice. So that's why Chigi's kind of joking me, because I have been going to the movie theater, or I've gone a lot. And in those instances, specifically for Wicked, was it fun to go to the movie theater? Yes, I had a lot of fun. I had fun because I went with my friends who are fans of the world, and like, you know, they're fans of music and all that stuff. So it was very like community experience in that sense, and so I enjoyed that part of it. Now, concerning actually going to the movies, I have not been a big moviegoer in the last couple of years, in a sense of, there was, as you said, before Panini, we would watch movies once, twice a year with my family specifically.
Okay.
Like, I know there was a couple times you came with us, a couple times you didn't. But, like, you know, if, a new Jackie Chan movie came out, my grandma really likes Jackie Chan. Excuse me. So then we would all go watch Jackie Chan together. And it was kind of like one of those things that, like, we could all do this, you know, it was like a way for us to spend quality time together as a family. So that was fine and nice. And, you know, we would kind of, some days, you know, so-and-so would pay for it, some days I'd pay for it, whatever. We all kind of, like, would split it. No problem. During Panini, obviously, movies, not a thing. We just streamed we literally, I think between us and my family, we just kind of combined, had all the streaming services and just did that because we were just like, we could just watch everything on Netflix or everything on Disney or everything on whatever. And so we just streamed a bunch of stuff. And then after that, there was one movie we saw during the Panini, or like kind of the end of Panini, because movie theaters were back open. And it was a very hyper-specific movie that I wanted to watch because it was a love movie. And I don't know why. I just really wanted to watch it. It had Peter Dinklage in it. I don't even remember what it's called. But it was Peter Dinklage in love with someone who was not as short as he was. And it was a really cute movie, and I really enjoyed it because it's like, I don't know. It's a movie that I would enjoy watching. And so we watched that.
Clearly it was so good that you forgot all about it.
Well, when was that? That was 3 years ago? 4 years ago? I don't remember. I don't know.
I don't know. I just know we watched the Mamamoo concert video.
And I was about to say, the other movie experiences we've had post Panini were K-pop experience ones. So, like, I saw the BTS one with Asper Cream, and then we did the Mamamoo one. And I think that's the only 3 that I did. The Peter Dinklage movie, BTS, Mamamoo. We wanted to do the Enhypen one. I don't know if Asper... We never ended up scheduling that one because Enhypen did one. But we saw them in concert, so I guess it didn't really matter. I mean, it does. It's 2 different experiences, but you know what I mean. And yeah, that's kind of it. Wicked, again, its own category, because we've kind of been anticipating... Like, they, you know... This was 2020. They've been filming for a while, and then there was a strike and all this stuff. So it's been like a minute with that. But everything, like traditional movies, honestly, we've just been waiting for them to stream. Like, I very distinctly remember, like, Mulan came out, the real life Mulan came out in movie theaters. We didn't watch it in the movie theater. We just streamed it on Disney Plus. Or, what was another? Like, we did a bunch of movies like that, where it was like, it would come out, and then like a week or 2 later, it'd come out on streaming services, and then we would just wait the week. We were never pressed to go to the movie theaters, at least in the last couple of years. So I agree with you. The sentiment has changed towards movie theaters in that sense. I think the only thing that could take us back to the times before the Panini would be things like Wicked, where it's a very hyper specific fan. Like, if like another thing equivalent to the Avengers were to come out, which I think DC's trying to do that, if I'm not mistaken. I've been hearing murmurings. I don't know. I know that they have a new Superman and all that stuff, and I think they're trying to build the DC universe the same way that they built the Avengers universe. And so I think that has an opportunity to kind of bring people back to traditional movie theaters. But I don't know, it's really hard when it's really easy to stream most things.
Right.
There are certain things that they are keeping specifically to movie theaters, and I understand that because obviously they're trying. That's what the sell is, right? Like, oh, we're only showing this in the movie theater. But at the end of the day, if your audience still doesn't want to go, you need to make money somehow. So you're going to release it on a streaming service somehow, some way.
Okay. So let me go ahead and just ask you like a bunch of like short questions about your times going at the movie theaters.
Okay.
So out of the times that you went, what was the average price of a ticket?
So when we went to the Peter Dinklage movie, we paid like $75, I think, or something
for a ticket.
Oh no, but that was like the ticket plus the popcorn.
No, just the ticket.
Do you remember how much that movie cost?
Nope.
Okay.
So out of the times you went,
this last time's to Wicked. I think for the Sunday 8 p.m. one, I paid less than $15 for the ticket. And then for the early access tickets, I think we paid $25 each.
Okay. At the showings, did you buy any food?
Yes.
What did you buy?
I always buy popcorn.
What size?
The biggest bucket.
Okay, so large.
Sure.
Did you get a drink?
I normally get a drink, yeah.
Large?
I don't know. It's literally the combo. I don't know.
Okay.
It's popcorn and a drink. They did not have nachos. I was very upset.
Did you buy any other food?
Legs wanted candy.
Okay. How much did you spend on food altogether?
The first or the second time?
Either one that you can remember.
$20-$25.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right. And that was just for you, or is that for
that
both
was
of you?
Both of us.
Okay.
So for the specific, I'm thinking about the Sunday night screening, the 8 p.m. screening. It was like $12.50 or $13 for the tickets each, and then I got popcorn, soda, and her candy.
Okay, cool.
That was like $20.
So, 2 tickets, about $25. Food, about $25.
$50.
$50 for the two of you.
Yep.
That's a lot.
It is.
That's an entire meal.
Yep. Yeah, it is a lot. But for a 3-hour movie, I was willing.
Yes. I mean, for those, movies that, you really want to watch on a big screen and just get immersed into the experience, sure. you'll spend that time and money for it. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to go back and talk about like how the movie theaters used to be before the panini.
Okay.
And so like I would remember you would have to walk up to the box office.
Yeah.
And you couldn't reserve any tickets online.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd get there, depending on, how many people were already in line before you. You would go and wait in line, get your tickets, and then it was on a first come, first serve basis.
Okay. And I want to caveat this because I think you're thinking a little bit further back. Because before the panini, we were fully, like, when I would go out with my family, we're fully reserving tickets online, like normal.
Yeah. But this is way before.
I'm talking about, like, probably when we were teenagers or younger. Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's give maybe a time.
2000s.
Sure. 2000s. Okay. So not pre-panini. This is early
This
2000s.
is still pre-panini.
Obviously it is, but I'm saying we're not talking about 2019 prices. We're talking about, 2010, 2000s. 2000s to 2010 prices and experience. Yes. Okay, so, continue.
I'm talking about 2000.
Yeah.
All the way up to maybe like 2010.
2010s, yeah. 100%. This is like our high school era.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. So you'd walk up to the box office, get your ticket, get in line for the person to take your ticket.
Yeah.
And then it was on a first come, first serve basis.
For seats.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you couldn't reserve your seats. It was literally you get there, you sit in the seat, or you put your stuff in the seat to reserve it, and then you go get your snacks and food.
Things, yeah.
And so if you were there late or you got there late, you would get the crap
Last
seats,
pick on seats. Yeah.
and you'd be sitting all the way up in the front.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so it would be hard for you to get like an entire row for your entire party.
You and your friends, yeah.
Right. I remember back in the day, the cheapest I ever paid for a ticket was $2.50.
Oh my god, I never paid that cheap.
And that wasn't at like a regular AMC theater.
Yeah.
This was probably for Cinema Cafe.
Okay.
Cinema Cafe is it's
that
another
local?
movie theater. It's probably local.
Yeah.
But they do small theaters, and what their niche is that they serve dinner or
like it's a meal. You
an
can get a
actual meal
Yeah.
with your movie.
Granted, it is all still movie food, but you can get full nachos, not just nachos with nacho dip. You can get chicken tenders. You can get fries. You can get hot foods. You know, traditionally like finger foods, but still hot foods.
And so
$2.50 is wild.
Yep, I paid $2.50 for the cheapest ticket there, and that was a matinee.
Yeah.
I think the cheapest I paid at like an AMC matinee would probably be $3.50.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was back in the day.
The cheapest that I ever remember, and this is probably, granted, I'm sure it was cheaper maybe when like my parents were paying for my ticket, but then when I had, the cheapest I remember ever paying for my ticket, like it was me, it's like $7.50. That's that's a very distinct memory. Like I would pay because it would be $15 to pay for me and my friend.
And I'm talking like distinctly on like off days where this is like their lowest traffic going into the movie theaters. That's
Wednesday at 1:00.
Yeah. Well, no, Wednesday like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So I think that was on the off days on Wednesdays or like whatever lowest traffic day they had.
Yeah.
That I would get that lowest price.
Sure.
I think on regular matinees they were like $5.
Okay. Yeah.
But still pretty good.
Compared to now.
Yeah, compared to now. And I remember always getting large popcorn, large drink, and then that would be like maybe $12 together.
Oh, okay.
And of course you gotta get the extra butter.
Yeah.
Gotta get it layered because you want it everywhere.
Yeah. That's a here thing. I never heard of that anywhere else.
And like a distinct memory I have back in the day, like when you walk into a theater, they still had like those kind of rubberish walkways.
Okay.
And like if it wasn't cleaned properly, you could just hear your shoes like stick and unstick from the floor.
Oh yeah.
Because all the soda.
Spilled drinks, spilled food, yeah. All of it.
And so like of course the theaters weren't always kept to the best it could be.
Yeah.
And so
sweep up the crumbs in the next movie, yeah.
Yep. And so like you would have like spills of soda everywhere or on the seats, and people don't clean it up in timely. And so like I know in AMC theaters they had like that kind of velvety texture to their seats.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and you could definitely tell if there's like a stain or something on there that didn't match the same texture. Right. And it'd just be like, ooh, I don't want to sit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like back in the day, we would go at least once a month, at least, because Fridays were the days where all the good movies came out, and we would go right after practice. And
after practice,
yeah.
How late were you allowed to stay out, dear Lord?
Oh yeah, I was allowed to stay out for a long time. I think I'd come home like...
It must be nice being a boy.
I'd come home like 2, 3 a.m.
Oh my gulai.
Yeah, but I was with my brother because he was Kuya.
Even if I was... Well, no, that's a lie. If I was with my brother, I was allowed to do whatever, like be out whenever. But yeah, no, my brother, I'm pretty sure his curfew was like midnight or after midnight. My curfew was 9 p.m., bro. Don't get me started. Must be nice being a boy.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like the prices that you had to pay back in the day for going to the theater would be just about as if not as much but less than what you would pay for to go out to dinner.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like it was also one of those things, like, back in the day, going to the movies was more accessible because they were trying to reach, like, teenagers and young adults, and like it was, and even families to a certain degree, but like it was very much they're trying to appeal to that audience where, like, here's something you could do with your friends and or family or whatever, like, do this for an afternoon, it's cheap, and then they would make money off of you with, I know the concessions is where like that's back then, I don't know how it is now, but back then their biggest turn on profit, at least for like places like AMC, was concessions. Because, like, if your ticket's $2.50 and then your concessions are $12, like, obviously that's like a big discrepancy in price.
Yeah.
But what was important was getting you in the door. So once you were in the door, you're like, oh yeah, I want popcorn when watching a movie. Absolutely, of course you're gonna pay the $12. But the ticket price was so nominal or little, paying $20 for your whole experience. Because if you're like me and you want nachos, it's like that's all that's all fine and dandy. So yeah, I see that. I remember prices being $7.50 for me, and one of the things that I remember, and this is very like hyper specific to like overseas Navy based movie theater.
Oh yeah.
Was like you were talking about, I get my popcorn layered. No, man, we would go to the butter machine at our movie theater, and you would douse the crap out of your popcorn and just drown your popcorn in butter, because that was the only way to do it. And I distinctly remember, because when I was overseas, I grew up during the era when the Harry Potter movies were coming out. So my parents were very, very kind and very, very gracious, and they would like go with me to opening night, and I would get my popcorn and I would fill it to the brim, drown everything in butter, and then what they would do is, this is before they had like the shakers at the grocery store. They would have these like big cans. Like, if you've seen those like catering cans of seasoning, they're like huge, like McCormick cans of seasoning. And they would have huge cans of that. And I would choose white cheddar. And I would drown my popcorn in addition to the butter with white cheddar. And the trick was, you double napkin over it and you shake it vigorously so that the popcorn at the bottom would come to the top. Add a little bit more butter, and then put more cheese on it, shake it again, and then it was all kind of mixed together. So every bite of popcorn had cheese and butter on it. And that was like the best. But yeah, that was, and it was the same. Like, I was like, that would be what our concessions would be. I would get, and I like, to the point that my poor parents, again, they love me so much. They did not want to share popcorn with me because my popcorn was so disgustingly calorically horrific.
Yeah.
That they were just like, you get your own popcorn. We'll have our, like, my mom would put like a little bit of salt, and like that's it, like very, very plain. And I'm just like drowning it in butter and cheese, as you should. If you want butter and cheese popcorn, eat your butter and cheese popcorn. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think my time at the theaters was dated so far back that you had to ask your cashier for layered popcorn for the butter. There wasn't the self-serve dispensers, and like they would have to get your drink as well because they didn't have the fountain drinks for you to do it yourself. So I mean, a lot has progressed and upgraded since then, because now they have like a whole bunch of different stuff you could do. So I mean, that's cool, but still, that's still so expensive. So I don't feel bad for not going to theaters anymore. Only because, you're saving so much more if you were to just get a streaming service and pay that on a monthly basis or a yearly basis, and then, get your own popcorn and stuff or whatever snacks you want, watch it at home. But
I also think that there's a lot of media in current Hollywood that is just of little to no interest to you. If it was something that you were hyper fixated on, and it was, I don't know, like if it was like a live action really well done Pokemon movie, you would probably go to the movie theaters to watch that. Or like if it was like something of your interest. The thing is, a lot of what Hollywood's doing right now is not of your interest. Even for me, it's like I used to watch a lot more movies than I do now, and now I'm like, I watched the one-off Peter Dinklage movie and Wicked, because those are my interest as a very shallow, basic woman who has no personality. But that's so mean to say, but it's like I fall into that stereotype, I suppose. But even then, it was like, I don't think I mean, for Wicked, obviously that's its own category, because I've been a fan of that for a long time. It would have been this, like Harry Potter, if I was a fan of the books and I was a fandom of that, and so when the movies came out, of course it made sense for me to go see that. But like I didn't read Superman comics or Batman comics, so I might watch the Superman and Batman. Like, it wouldn't bother me if I watched the Superman or Batman movie like later in the year, or like a couple months later on a streaming service, or like whatever it was. But like I don't need to be there opening week to watch it, like the way it was for other movies.
True story. I did watch Pokemon the first movie in theaters.
Oh yeah, I did too. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, really liked it. Made sure I got my promo
The
card.
promo card. I was about to say, did you get your promo card?
Oh, yeah, I got my promo card, and then I gave it away.
Of course. We gave away all of our houses. Oh my gosh.
And I went with one of my best friends. And
do I know this best friend?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And of course, we're dudes, so like I sat in one seat, and then we left an open seat in between us.
I remember those days where like you could leave. Like, this is how nonchalant it was, because you're like, we can't be too close together because we're not on a date. Yeah, like oh, the 90s and the 2000s, what a crazy time.
And then we watched the movie, and then it got to the part where Ash turns into stone.
Yeah.
And then Pikachu shocks him.
Yeah.
And then I'm like crying, and then my friend goes, "Bro, you crying?" I said, "No, man."
No, man. We all sobbed. I don't know what you're talking about. That, Bye Bye Butterfree, like, yeah, no. Those are all sob moments. Oh, when Pikachu, oh man, I'm crying thinking
Stop!
about it. It's such a sad moment, because like Pikachu was just like, oh. And then the thing was, is like, and that's the thing, like, stuff like that, experiencing that in the theater, like, you had to be there. There was no other place to experience that. It's not like now, like, everything is online, literally. So, it doesn't, you can still be part of the conversation, even if you weren't I mean, even with Wicked, like, there's so many people who, like, they don't even have to see the movie. There's so much spoilers and stuff online. It's just like, and if you know the story of Wicked, you know the story of Wicked. Like, that doesn't change. Like, it's still the same story arc. Like, you get it. Wow, I really am crying because I was thinking about Pikachu. That's wild. I literally felt that moment. I saw it so distinctly. But like Chigi was saying, it's like, in what year was that? 2000, something like that.
Yeah.
You had to be in that movie theater, and you had, like, seeing that for the first time. Or I guess another example of that, like a more current example of that, was Infinity War.
Okay.
When Iron Man says, "And I am Iron Man," like, that moment, you had to be there for that. If you weren't there, it doesn't hit the same way. But now movie theaters just don't have that weight anymore.
Yeah.
It feels like, and I want to, like, caveat, I guess I'm saying this in a sense of, like, as someone who can and looks at, like, tries to look at things from, like, the art or the artist perspective, I understand that there are some people who really truly hold on to the value of, like, old Hollywood and, like, that that pipeline of, this is what success is, this is what, popularity is, the box office numbers are very, very important, and to a certain degree they still are, like, 100% it has influence. But it's different now. It really is different now, because there are so many other ways for people to absorb media that it really just doesn't have the same pull as it did back then. Now, that's not to say that there's no place for movie theaters. I think there always will be a place for movie theaters. But there's definitely, like, just like with everything else, times are changing, so you have to change with the times. And movie theaters, I mean, whether it's, I don't know how specifically it works, but, like, whether it's, like, AMC is like, okay, there are certain things that, like, you can only be released in movie theaters for a year, and then it can't go onto a streaming service until 52 weeks have passed. So at least we can get whatever revenue we can get. You know, we have the hype in that sense. That's one way to look at it. So all of that to say, I feel like movie theaters, to a certain degree, will always be there, because there are just certain things that there's a weight and nostalgia there, but it's definitely, times are changing. So,
yeah.
You know, and post Panini, it's definitely been an eye-opener for a lot of people who are like, well, I'll just stream it at home. Like, I mean, especially, it's very hyper-specifically, my mom friends, they do not want to lug their children to the movie theater. Yeah. It's a big chore. So what? Let's get Disney Plus. Let's get, you know, whatever streaming services that has the cartoon, whatever it is. We'll just do that. They have the movies at home, and it's a lot easier for them as parents. So, you know, again, just different perspectives and different audiences now that they have to cater to, I feel like.
Cool. Sorry. So, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I got one follow-up question.
Sure.
Do you have a core memory of being at the movie theaters? So, I'll go first.
Yeah.
There was a time where we were hanging out at the mall, and of course the mall has a movie theater.
Yes.
And so we went to go watch a movie, and there were 8 of us.
Okay.
And we were, you know, just talking while we were going into the movie theater. And I remember I'm just talking to my friend, and I'm like paying no mind to how we're going into the movie theater and where we sit.
Sure.
So someone picks a row to sit at. We all go sit in the same row, and then we're all right next to each other. In the group, I'm always the person that's at the end of the row.
Sure.
So, in this occasion, when we sat down, and I'm still talking to my friend.
Yeah.
We sat down. I look over to my left and right. I'm like, hey, this has never happened before. I'm sitting in the middle.
Okay.
As soon as I said that, a girl at the end goes, hey, Chigi, can you switch seats with me? And I dead stare at the person I'm talking to. I'm just like, this never happens.
Yeah.
And so I get up. Because I'm a gentleman, I get up, switch seats with her.
Sure.
Of course, she was the one leading the group, so now I'm at the end. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I have a feeling I know who these people are, but I'll leave that for after the episode. I have a very distinct idea of like who person 1 and person 2 could be. But no, it is I mean, and it's also kind of there is a weird hierarchy when you're with certain groups of friends, especially if your group of friends is like particularly on the larger side, like, and by large I mean like 6+, you know, 5+, because then it's kind of like you have the ringleader of the group, and they tend to be the one who like makes the plan or like makes the reservation, or like kind of dictates like, oh, let's go here, or like they'll make suggestions to the group, and the group tends to follow them.
Yeah.
And then there's always like a, you know, there's there's like a hierarchy to it when you have that many people. So I can understand that, or like I've seen and experienced that myself, so I get that. But I'm sorry that that's a core memory for you. My gosh, that's so sad. Do you remember what the movie was?
No, I was pissed.
You're like, oh, just to be a gentleman. Goodness. That's so funny. A core memory, at the movies. I was trying to think of like, when you first asked me the question, I was kind of thinking, I was like, was it when I like saw Harry Potter for the first time, which was like very impactful for me, because as a child, it was very distinct of like book to movie and what was the same and what was different. And it was the first time that I felt like I was part of a conversation, because I was talking to other fans, classmates, other people in the movie theater, like whatever it was. And like it was cool, because that was like my first experience interacting in a sense with a fandom. So that's very impactful. But genuinely, I feel like the one that kind of had the most impact for me was when I saw Frozen in the movie theater. And that was with,
of course.
That was with my best friend, Mo. We were joking about this earlier. Have I said her name on the podcast?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I couldn't remember, and I'm like, some people don't mind sharing their names and some people do. we call her Mo because she's maid of honor. Not Mo because it's MOE, but like
MOH.
MOH, Mo. But I saw Frozen with her, and I think it was what was very distinct about Frozen, and it still rings true to this day, which don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. But one of the things that happened for me in that movie, in that moment, in experiencing that and seeing the characters and their development and all that stuff, was I felt unapologetically vulnerable and seen in a lot of ways, which is really ironic because Elsa is a white ice princess and I am an Asian girl with no powers. But I love that that's how I compared us. But in a sense of like hiding your true self and what it means to be your true self and being unapologetically yourself, or like where honor and family and loyalty and how that can like blur the boundaries of like being authentically you and all that stuff. And that's kind of like an identity crisis that I've always struggled with, in not in a bad way, but just in a I've always wondered like what is more important to me and where is that line for me, like how do I define that line. And you know, and all of it, like it was a very emotionally and arguably spiritually like altering moment for me, because it felt like, again, watching that movie, I felt so unapologetically vulnerable and myself and seen, and experiencing that with my best friend was a very like powerful moment. To the point that it was like, oh, okay, this is what the power of art and music and life and emotions and all of this stuff. This was before I knew any of the backstory of like any of the like, you know, like you can kind of get into the weeds about all this stuff, but like, you know, listening to interviews and all that stuff, which is like something that a lot of people like to do because the internet is so prevalent now. But like, this was genuinely me as a person watching this movie, not really knowing what I was going to watch. And then when I watched it, I felt like a lot of myself in my life and my perspective on life had changed in a good way, because it was a mirror, but also a reflection of what I felt was something that is a universal truth, and the empowerment of being yourself, but also being authentic to you, where like you could still be yourself, but you can also still feel that weight of loyalty, whether that's to your family or your friends or your, you know, your duty, whatever it is, but you're still like, but I still want to be myself, and recognizing there is still a truth in both of those things. And all of that to say, like, all that was emotionally and mentally happening within me while I was watching this movie. And it was one of those things of like, I mean, everyone jokes about it. You know that commercial that Nicole Kidman does before every AMC movie? We go to the movies because we like to see like she talks in like the weirdest English that like doesn't make sense or whatever, but what she says genuinely does have a degree of truth. There is something really, really beautiful about the reflection of truth in movie making. As someone who is not a movie maker, as someone who has only studied writing and like scripts, like I was never one to like go hard into, you know, I think I've taken like 2 or 3 film classes. Like I wasn't like in it, but I know enough to know that like that's the kind of thing that, which is why it was so appealing, and it is so appealing even now. That's why I'm saying there is still a weight to it. There will always be a weight to it, because true authentic movie making in the realest of versions, and the most authentic version of it, is a movie that's a story being told, and a truth being shared. And sometimes it's a truth that we ourselves don't want to admit. Sometimes it's a truth that we ourselves don't want to face. But the best stories are the ones that can authentically show you in a way that is entertaining, but also realizing in the best of ways. And so I think that's my favorite movie memory.
Okay.
It's a very big speech for like
it really was
movies. I apologize. I did not mean to go on a tangent, but that's just, yeah, that was a genuine moment that happened for me. And I think even, I would say even for my best friend, like, it didn't hit her in the same way that it hit me. And that's not to say that she didn't, she and I received it within the same moment. And I think because of that, that's been a strong pillar in our friendship, because we experienced it together, and she knew how much it affected me, and she saw all of it that came from that. And even if she didn't necessarily feel as emotionally moved by the piece, because she experienced it with me and we had that moment, that's why it was like a positive thing for both of us. I mean, to this day, Homegirl still sends me Frozen stuff, and I love it. Like, that's literally my favorite thing.
We watched Frozen 2 together.
Yes. It's the best. And I cried a lot. As you do. Again, apologies for... We had a couple tangents in this episode, I feel like. But in a good way. Because that's kind of what this is, right? This is just supposed to be a conversation. Let us know in the comments down below. When was the last time you went to a movie theater? And was it for Wicked? Or Wicked for Good? Let us know. Big fan over here. I'd love to talk to you about it. Let me know. If you like this episode, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see y'all next time. Bye.